Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Joseph Ward, and welcome to my On the Shoulders of Giants YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Make sure you share this channel. And that notification button, click that notification button so every time I drop a new video, you will know what's going on. African history at your fingertips through this channel. You're getting biographies of your sung and unsung heroes right at your fingertips. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend about On the Shoulders of Giants, where you can learn about yourself and we tell our own stories. Peace out. Hey everybody, how you doing? I am Joseph Ward, and welcome back to my On the Shoulders of Giants YouTube channel, where we get it in talking about real things, real life, real African history, and how it applied to us in the past, how it applies to us in the present, and how it can be applied in the future. And just going over concepts and things that have happened, bringing light to historical events, trying to uncover hidden things. And we also here bring light to our sung and unsung heroes. So today in this video, I want to talk about Talented 10th, the ideas and concepts that we know of as the Talented 10th that was popularized by W.E.B. Du Bois. Now, we're finna go ahead and jump into this learning right now. So, I say popularized, but before I get deep into that now, I'm covering this topic because I was having a conversation with my homeboy Patrick the other day, and we were talking about the Talented 10th, and we were talking about why haven't the Talented 10th really been able to advance the masses as the concept of the Talented 10th was designed to do. So me, I like to do a little research. I like to learn new things. I like to dig deep and find out what's going on. So I did a little bit of research. I haven't had enough time. I've been very busy, so I haven't had enough time to really go deep in. But I did a little bit of research, and because it was just in my head, why haven't the Talented 10th really been able, and me being a part of the Talented 10th, why haven't we been able to really make better strides for our people? And so, getting back to what I said earlier of W.E.B. Du Bois popularizing the concept of the Talented 10th. Found out that Du Bois did not create the concept of the Talented 10th, but he popularized it. So it was created by a white man named Henry Lyman Morehouse, which is the same man for which Morehouse College is named after. And so what's I guess you could say the draw into, or I guess you could say the hook that gets people when we talk about the Talented 10th, especially when they talk about the first two lines. The Negro race, like all races, is going to be saved by exceptional men. The problem of educating then among Negroes must first of all deal with the Talented 10th. It is the problem of developing the best of this race that may guide the mass away from the contamination and death of the worst in their own and other races. Right? So, we're talking about being bougie too. We're talking about being bougie. We're talking about cherry picking. We're talking about separatism. We're talking about educating a critical mass of blacks who they feel could advance the race. But see, the problem with that is that concept was created by Morehouse, and these are the words of Morehouse. I read this to you. In the discussion concerning Negro education, we should not forget the Talented 10th man. An ordinary education may answer for the 9 men of mediocrity. Really? But if this is all we offer the Talented 10th man, we make a prodigious mistake. Why? Because the 10th man with superior natural endowments, symmetrically trained and highly developed, may become a mightier influence, a greater inspiration to others, and all the other 9, or 9 times 9 like them. Whatever the hell that last part said. Yeah. But basically they're talking about, basically he's saying that the mass of black people really don't have the juice. Really not. That's how I'm taking it. I could be wrong, but that's how I'm taking it. Is the masses of the black people are not capable of tremendous feats. So let's dig through and see which ones that we could take, that we could shape and mold to be able to better help our help push forward our concepts and our ideas and things. So that probably answers my question of why the talented 10th hasn't necessarily been able to really make true advancement or true progress for the black race, is because from what I'm reading and what I pulled from the little research that I did, that the main purpose of the talented 10th was not necessarily to advance the race, but more so to advance the ideas of, or to be those agents knowingly knowingly or unknowingly for white supremacy, and to continue to push those ideas and concepts of white American white supremacy. Because Morehouse was very adamant about building specific institutions of higher education for black people to train them to be better equipped to exist in the white world. So if we even move forward that concept of the talented 10th, now I originally looked at the talented 10th not as those who were cherry picked, but those who have found opportunity to advance themselves. They went ahead and advanced themselves, and then those were the ones who had the ability to give back. That was my original concept of the talented 10th. So that's why I was like, why haven't we been able to make more progress with our talented 10th? Because the talented 10th has been trained and has been educated enough to be able to advance the race. Why hasn't the race been advanced? But going into these further readings and studies, the talented 10th was not necessarily developed to advance the race, but to be masked as an advance for the race, as be masked as people who can advance the race, but more so be agents for the advancement and the maintenance of white supremacy. If that makes sense. It makes sense to me. I hope it makes sense to you. So it seemed like the boys was more so, could have been hoodwinked, could have been more so naive in the overall goal of what the talented 10th was, and a little more naive in the overall goal of Morehouse and the other white people who really, were they really on our side or not, we don't know. We're going to do further research. We're definitely going to keep you keep informed. But when he's saying that, Morehouse is saying that the 10th man, so 1 out of 10 blacks is endowed with supernatural abilities, and that person needs to be symmetrically trained and highly developed to become a mightier influence, a greater inspiration to others than all the other 9, or 9 times 9 like them. So it's a separation thing. To me, that also helped to keep black people separated from those who are educated from those who are not educated, and us not necessarily really looking at us as a whole, but that critical mass of those who were specifically trained in these specific ways to work in these specific manners. And these people are the elite ones, supposedly, the bougie, the boulets, all those. So not all, because the talented 10th is those with those specific educations, and this is the more liberal art or intellectually developed person that will go under the mindsets and ideas that W.E.B. Du Bois put out that was counter to Booker T. Washington, who was more on the agricultural and the trades and the building men up in the industrial realm rather than the intellectual realm. But one thing that I get from all this, though, on our side as black people, is both Du Bois and Washington had points that we could have used. The industrial and the intellectual side can both be used. They both should be used, and they both need to be used, along with others. Du Bois, Washington, Carver, not Carver, but Garvey. Du Bois, Washington, Garvey. Who else? Who else am I missing? I'm missing somebody else, but the different concepts. But basically what I'm saying is the different concepts of the intellectuals or the leaders or the people or the black people who stood out in history at this time. They all had pieces of the puzzle, and instead of trying to compete with each other or being combative or being opponents of each other, they also took a critical look at what was being said and how these different components can play a critical part in black America as a whole, because they're all different pieces of the puzzle. Not one concept is superior to the next, because if you really look at it, none of these concepts that all of these men have put out, all of our leaders, none of these concepts have truly worked. But all of these concepts can work, and all of these concepts can be used in conjunction with one another moving forward. We don't have to stick with one ideology. But not to stray too far from the point, but this talented 10th, I think I answered my question of why the talented 10th has not necessarily been able to make better strides and make more progress, more black progress, not white progress. And I have a conversation in the video for you all later on black progress versus white progress. But we need more black progress in this world. And those of us who have been put in positions to have more access to education and resources and money, we should be making sure that we're an asset to our community and really help to advance our community in the true sense of a talented, or in a more pure African mindset sense of a talented 10th versus the European mindset of a talented 10th. And what I mean by that is a talented 10th that does not look at itself as the elite of the group, but look at themselves as a part of the whole of the group, but understand that they're in positions to help and actually help, and not those who will look at themselves as elite and others should have to follow them because they're elite, because these are European concepts that were adopted by our people. W.E.B. Du Bois adopting this concept of the talented 10th created by Harvard. I mean, not Harvard, but Morehouse. So, something to think about, something to chew on, something to wrap your mind around when we're moving forward and we're wondering why we're still in the same positions that we are. Now, one of the reasons why is every time we build something, white people destroy it. That's the truth. But a true sense of people is when they understand their position of influence and understand that they can actually be an asset to their people, and they actually become that asset for their people. That's what we more so need, and in a more Africanized sense of a talented 10th. That's what we're going to move forward. In a more Africanized sense of being a talented 10th, of those of us who are in better positions than others, who still understand that we're a part of the whole, and we're no different from the whole. We're just in a little better positions than the whole, than the rest of the people. And we're going to use our talents to uplift the rest of the race, to make others, to create other leaders, not to just try to be a leader, but to use our talents to create other leaders and create other success stories within our community, because that's what a true Africanized talented 10th does, not the one that Morehouse was talking about. So that's my take on the talented 10th. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. Hope it makes sense. So, once again, I'm Joseph Ward, founder, author, and creator of On the Shoulders of Giants. You can learn more at www.ontheshoulders1.com. And make sure you tell somebody to subscribe to this channel, and click that notification button. So, therefore, every time I drop a new video, you can get it. Peace.